This week I'm working on polymer clay flowers, and I wanted to show you how I'm doing it. For this, I followed a tutorial that I'm going to link down in the description. It was super helpful with step-by-step pictures and text. To prepare for this, I mixed my choice of color with translucent and rolled it through my pasta machine until I got a thin enough layer so that I could easily cut out these clay circles. Anyone can do these at home. You just need your clay. I used sunset pearl. You'll need a roller of some sort. You can use anything that's just not going to stick to your clay. And you just want it to roll it to it's thin, about 1 millimeter. You can use a straw from a fast food restaurant drink to make your circles. You'll just push it into the clay and it's going to get stuck in the bottom, but if you push the top and you pinch it, it will pop right out. Make sure that you cover the end though, because sometimes they can go flying. And you can use these straws over and over. For this particular video, I'm using an X-Acto knife. You can use any sort of precision blade or just anything that's going to slice your circles into quarters. And then I'm using these ball rolling tools to stretch the clay and give the petals shape. I'm also using this needle tool to hold the base of the rose. It just makes it a lot easier to handle it. I had also made an example rose yesterday, but when I closed the lid of my kit, it pressed down and smushed the top. Once you have all your clay circles, you're going to start cutting some of them. You want to leave some whole, some you are going to cut into halves, some you're going to cut into 3/4, and others it's just going to be 1/4. And each one of these you're going to have separate groups of them, and it's going to give you different sizes of petals. And depending on how wide or how thick you want your rose, how open you want it, you'll want more petals. If you want it more closed, more like bud-like, you'll want less of them. So it really is just depends on what you're going for in the end, on how many petals you're going to want to make ahead of time. And here I'm just trying to give you an idea of what the petal will look like based on each one of your sizes that you've cut from your circle. And you're just going to go ahead and keep cutting up the different groups until you get as many as you think you'll need. And then once you've got enough pieces cut, you can go ahead and get your needle tool. You're going to take one of the full circles and you're just going to form it into a long oval shape and then almost like a cone. And this is going to be our centerpiece. I take my nail and I just push it into the center to sort of give it a little lip in the edge. And then you just press it down onto your needle point and it should look like this. And now you're going to start all your petals so that you have all of them ready. I'm going to start with one of my half circles and you just form it until it makes sort of a teardrop. You'll put the point between your fingers and then you take your ball tool and you're just going to press down and sort of stretch it. You're just going to push it out towards the wider, more open end until it looks more like a flower petal. Then just grab the pointy end to pull it off of your finger, and you have your first petal. You're just going to do this over and over again with each size. You'll form into the teardrop. Pinch the pointy end between your fingertips. Take the ball tool and stretch and push the more open end of your teardrop until it forms a petal. And these all do not have to be uniform. They do not have to be perfect. Flowers in nature are not perfect. You can even take a cutting tool at the end and cut little indents into your petals if you want them to look even more realistic. Sometimes the tiny ones will tear or get stuck to your finger, and that's okay. You can just ball it back up again and start over. You're going to do this until you have at least several petals from each one of your size groups. If you want a wider, bigger rose, you're going to want more. Once you have all your petals ready, you're going to pick up your needle point that has our centerpiece already on it, and we're going to start with one of our wider, bigger petals, and you're just going to gently wrap it around the center. You'll pinch the bottom edges just slightly, and it will stick to itself, and then you're just going to keep layering petals just like that until you have the rose shape that you like. And as you're applying each petal, you can shape the ends if you want them to curl out a little bit more. And as you get more towards the outside edges of your rose, you're going to want to bring the petals down just a little lower. You'll just keep doing this until the rose looks how you want it. As you're doing this, the stem and the center is going to stretch, and we are going to use the stretched area to cut the rose off of our needle point here, just like this. After you've cut them, you can shape your petals how you would like them, and then you'll just bake these to your clay's instructions.